Hi, I'm Jonathan Fanning, and welcome back to our video series, our mini course on becoming an entrepreneur. I hope you enjoyed the first video and the first worksheet, and I hope you took some time and really started mapping out that TPS, talents, passions, and serve. How do I use my talents? What are they, first of all? And my passions, and what are they? To serve. Who am I going to serve and how? This video, we're going to talk about how you get paid as an entrepreneur. Really, what determines your revenue, the amount of value that you can actually create with your business. And it's another formula. I think you're really going to enjoy this, but let me start with this. Quick story. I'm a freshman in college playing basketball for a junior college, but we were actually ranked number 3 in the country for basketball. Then we lost our point guard, All-American point guard, leading scorer, and our center, who was dominating. I mean, huge, with just monster shoulders. I'm 6'4". He dwarfed me, and he would drop step on people and just dunk right over them. I mean, a monster and quick on his feet. We lost them both for the whole season. So as a team, we get back together, we're in practice, and we're all thinking, like, our heads are down a little bit, thinking, what are we going to do? How do we stay where we are? Coach comes up. I'm working on a move on one of the baskets, working on practicing a move. Coach comes up, says, Fanning. Yeah, coach, yeah. He says, Fanning, I need you to play a bigger role. I'm like, sure, coach, got it. He looks at me, look back at him. I go back to practicing. The rest of the practice, and actually for a couple days, probably a week or more, I was thinking, what does he mean? What kind of a bigger role does he need me to play? So I'd love to tell you that the end of the story is we won the national championship. We were the best junior college in the country that year, but no. We actually had a decent season, but we got knocked out of the playoffs a little earlier than people expected us to be. And I remember thinking, what went wrong? What went wrong? And throughout that time, I was thinking, how do I play the bigger role Coach is asking me to play? You know, I worked hard on my crossover, on driving, on slashing, on dishing, on just different moves at the basket, different pull-ups and jump shots and fadeaways and post moves, and, you know, worked hard on all those skills. But at the end of the season, I'll tell you what, it was not for lack of skill or for lack of talent that we got knocked out of the playoffs early. We got knocked out of the playoffs early for lack of character. Who we were, our work ethic, our humility or lack of humility, you know, how we played as a team, or were we selfish? It was the character traits of the individuals and of the team as a whole that knocked us out of the playoffs that year. Not the skills, not the talents. And that's at the heart of what Coach was saying. Fanning, I need you to play a bigger role. Coach wanted me to lead, not necessarily just cross over more or shoot more or pass more. He wanted me to lead, and he wanted me to lead the character of the team. Who was the team? What did the team really stand for? What were the character traits that dominated that team? And you see, I tell you that because that's at the core of, as an entrepreneur, really as a leader, that's how you get paid. That's how effective you can be as a leader. It's a simple formula. It's C plus S equals V. Character plus skills determine value. And the value, going back to that thing we talked about in the first video series, talents and passions to serve, the serving is adding the value. How do you serve people? How are you going to add value? What kind of value? What quality of value and what quantity of value? Right? Are you going to give them a certain amount of value and only to one person? You're going to give a certain amount of value to hundreds or thousands or tens or hundreds or millions of people? Or are you going to give a deeper value, a more intense or a higher quality of value, and then to what amount of people? So the value, character plus skills determines value. Picture this. In Rome, there's an unbelievable building. It's almost 2,000 years old. It's called the Pantheon. And you'd recognize, I think, a picture of it. It's a big dome. It's actually the world record holder for the largest concrete dome structure that's not reinforced in the middle. So you walk inside, there's an oculus, it's called. There's a hole in the top. It's 30 feet in diameter, this hole in the roof of this Pantheon. And the building itself is almost 150 feet high and in diameter. The walls of that structure are over 20 feet thick at the base. And inside the walls of that structure, there are no reinforcements in the middle, but inside the walls, there are 8 pillars that hold up the structure. 8 pillars. Unbelievable. You walk inside there, you think, wow, how did this get so big? And see, that's value. The value is the height or the quality of the service. And the quantity, to me, is how big a space, how many people could fit in there. If that if that Pantheon was used as a theater or as a circus tent or a performance, how many people could you fit in there? But if the ceilings are really low, not a lot of quality, right? So the value would be a lot of people, but not a lot of quality. So high quantity, low quality. But the ceiling is very, very high, almost 150 feet to the top of that oculus, meaning a lot of value can be provided. Those 8 pillars hold up that value. And in entrepreneurship, in leadership, in your business, the character and the skill are those pillars. The skills, we're talking about finance skills, operation skills, sales skills, marketing skills, management skills, strategy skills. But the character traits is what I'm talking about. The character trait side of that equation will determine more than the skill side what you can accomplish, what you can get paid, how much value, how many people you can lead and how far you can lead them, how big an organization you can build, and how long-lasting and impactful that organization can be. So let's talk through some character traits. And this is so important to me, and it matters so much to me. And I talk to colleges and high schools and companies and leaders about this all the time because it's so critical and it's so overlooked in our culture. We talk about skills all the time. My daughter, I have a 5-year-old daughter, she'll come home from school. We're working on the letter S this week. And they'll write the letter S, I don't know, it seems like hundreds of times, the big S, the little s. Find S in a sentence. Write a word that starts with S. Here's a book with nothing but words that start with S. Find something in your house that starts with S. Write it, spell it, draw a picture, use it in a sentence. S, S, S. Working on the skill of writing S, recognizing S, pronouncing S. Skills. It's a drill. It's a repetition of a drill. In basketball, same thing. Coach Fanning play a bigger role. And I'm working on the skills of dribbling, of driving, of pivoting, of turning, of releasing. Working on the skills. But the character traits in business, in leadership, in life, we rarely drill or practice or intentionally develop those. What do I mean by character traits? I'm talking about, are you a person of vision? Are you a person who confronts reality, who faces what's really going on? Are you a person who says, I'm responsible? Are you a person of belief, who believes in that vision? I can make that vision happen, and my ability and my team's ability to make that vision happen. Applied teachability is another one we talk about in our camps and our programs. Are you a person who has the humility and the courage to take lessons and do something about them? To change your course instead of running into a wall over and over and over again. It'd be like me as a freshman in basketball. We didn't win that year. Learned some tremendous lessons. Imagine if we didn't apply any of those lessons to the second season, to the next year. And I played for a different team the next year. But imagine if we didn't. Applied teachability. Why? We didn't have the humility or we didn't have the courage to take action. Applied teachability. So what I want you to do as a result of this video is those 5 qualities that I just outlined, and they'll be part of the PDF that you can download with this. Vision, confront reality, I'm responsible, belief, and applied teachability. I want you to write those, actually they're on a card that you can print, but I want you to start every single day, score yourself on those 5 character traits in terms of vision. Am I clear about what I want this day to be like? This, let's say it's just one class or one practice you have in sports or one activity or one thing in music or one test. Am I clear about what I want the outcome to be? That's vision. Confront reality. Am I willing to face what's really going on? Let's say it's a class that you're taking and you want to get an A or whatever. You want to get something on the test. Are you confronting the reality of, you know what? I haven't done the work. I don't know the subject. Therefore, I need to do a lot more to get that A. And that leads us right into the I'm responsible. It's so common in our culture today, and I see entrepreneurs do this all the time. The market's down, oh no, the economy. I've grown both of my businesses in the last 3 years when the economy was supposedly the worst it's been in decades. Grown both. One was almost 30% per year each year for the last 3 years. Revenue and profits. I'm responsible. The economy is what it is. I can't directly modify that, but I can modify my behaviors. I'm responsible for the outcome I want to get. Fourth, belief. What do I do to feed the belief? Do I have belief? I have this new vision I want to chase. Do I have the belief that that can happen? And then fifthly,